Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. 15-minute YouTube documentary script. What if everything will be thought about negotiation is wrong? What if compromising, meeting in the middle, and splitting the difference are actually the fastest ways to lose value in life? Whether you are asking for a salary rise, buying a car, solving family conflicts, building a business, or simply trying to get your child to finish homework, negotiation is everywhere. In today's documentary, we are diving deep into Never Split the Difference by former FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss. After spending decades negotiating with kidnappers, bank robbers, Voss discovered something surprising. People don't make decisions based on logic, they make based on emotions. Throughout this journey, we will uncover 15 powerful lessons that can transform the way you communicate, pursue, and influence others. Stay with us until the end because each lesson builds upon the previous one, creating a complete framework for mastering human interaction. Point number one, negotiation is a part of everyday life. Most people think negotiation only happens in boardrooms or high-stake business deals, but Chris Voss reveals that negotiation happens every single day. Every conversation where someone wants something from another person is a negotiation. From deciding where to eat dinner to discussing responsibilities at work, we are constantly influencing and being influenced. The problem is that most people enter these situations without any strategy. They rely on logic, facts, and assumptions while ignoring emotions. Voss teaches that understanding negotiation as a daily life skill instantly changes how we communicate. Once we recognize every interaction as an opportunity to create understanding, we become more intentional. This realization becomes the foundation for every lesson that follows. Next point number two, people are emotional first, logical second. After recognizing negotiation everywhere, we must understand the driving force behind human decisions. Contrary to popular belief, people don't primarily make choices through logic. Emotions lead, logic follows. Even highly intelligent individuals justify emotional decisions with rational explanations afterward. Chris Voss learned this while negotiating with dangerous criminals who rarely responded to facts alone. The same principle applies to everyday life. When we ignore emotions, conversations become difficult and resistance grows. But when we acknowledge feelings, people become more open and cooperative. Understanding emotional dynamics allows us to communicate in ways that feel natural rather than confrontational. This insight leads directly to the next powerful technique. Point number three, master the art of tactical empathy. Tactical empathy is not about agreeing with someone, it's about understanding their perspective. Voss explains that people desperately want to feel heard and understood. When they don't, they become defensive and closed off. Tactical empathy involves carefully listening to what someone is experiencing and acknowledging their emotions without judgment. This creates trust and lower resistance. Instead of arguing against someone's viewpoint, we first seek to understand it. Ironically, the more understood people feel, the more willing they become to consider new ideas. This technique turns difficult conversations into productive ones. Once empathy establishes connection, we can move deeper into communication. Next point number four, listen more than you speak. Most people believe persuasion comes from talking well. Chris Voss argues the opposite. The best negotiators spend more time listening than speaking. Active listening reveals hidden concerns, motivations, fears, and desires. Every word spoken by the other person provides valuable information. When we interrupt or focus on our next response, we miss critical insights. Great listeners create an environment where others willing share information. This gives them a tremendous advantage. Listening also demonstrates respect, making others feel valued. As conversations become richer, we gain the knowledge necessary to guide them effectively. This naturally introduces one of Voss's most famous techniques. Next point number five, use mirroring to build rapport. Mirroring is one of the simplest yet most effective communication tools. The technique involves repeating the last few words someone says in a curious and calm tone. This encourages them to elaborate and reveal more information. People naturally enjoy talking about their thoughts and experiences. When mirrored, they feel understood and continue sharing. Mirroring also creates subconscious rapport because it reflects their communication style. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity. It requires no manipulation, only genuine curiosity. As more information surfaces, deeper understanding emerges. That deeper understanding prepares us for the next communication skill. Next point number 6, label emotions to reduce tension. Once people begin sharing openly, emotions inevitably appear. Host teaches the technique of labeling emotions by calmly identifying what someone might be feeling. Statements like, it seems like you are frustrated, or it sounds like you are concerned about this, can dramatically change a conversation. Surprisingly, naming emotions often reduces their intensity. People feel seen and understood rather than ignored. This does not require perfect accuracy. Even attempting to understand someone's feelings creates connection. Labeling transforms emotional barriers into bridges of communication. As tension decreases, trust increases, and trust creates the conditions for meaningful dialogue. Next point number 7, create the powerful that's right moment. One of the most important milestones in negotiation is hearing someone say that's right. This phrase signals genuine understanding. It means the other person feels completely heard and accurately understand according to us. Achieving a that's right moment is more valuable than hearing you are right. People often say you are right simply to end a conversation, but that's right reflects true agreement. To achieve this, summarize their position, concern, and emotion accurately. When they respond with that's right, resistance begins to disappear. Now they see you as someone who understands them rather than opposes them. This creates the perfect environment for influence. Next point number 8, ask calibrated questions. With the trust established, it's time to guide the conversation through questions. Voss recommends using calibrated questions that begin with how and what. Instead of making demands, ask questions what encourage problem solving. For example, how can we make this work? Or what challenges do you see? These questions engage the other person's mind rather than triggering defensiveness. They become participants in finding solutions instead of opponents in a debate. Calibrated questions shift responsibility for answers onto the other party. As they think through solutions, cooperation increases naturally. This makes negotiation feel collaborative rather than confrontational. Next point number 9, let the other person feel in control. Many people mistakenly believe negotiation requires dominating the conversation. Chris Voss discovered the opposite. People are more cooperative when they feel in control. By asking thoughtful questions and listening carefully, we create the perception that they are leading the discussion. In reality, we are guiding the process strategically. Humans resist being controlled but enjoy making their own decisions. When people feel ownership over outcomes, commitment increases dramatically. This approach reduces conflict and strengthens relationships. Rather than forcing agreements, we allow them to emerge naturally. This principle becomes even more powerful when combined with the next lesson. Next point number 10, learn the power of no. Most people fear hearing the word no. Host sees it differently. No is often the beginning of negotiation, not the end. When people say no, they feel safe, protected, and in control. A yes can sometimes to be meaningless, but a genuine no reveals real concerns. Instead of avoiding it, skilled negotiators welcome it. Questions designed to invite no can reduce pressure and increase honesty. Once objections become visible, they can address to hearing no, provides clarity, and clarity creates opportunities for progress. Understanding this completely changes how we approach conversations. Next point number 11, bargain strategically. Eventually, many negotiations reach discussions about numbers, resources, or specific terms. Hosts introduced strategic bargaining techniques that avoid unnecessary concessions. Instead of making large compromise, move gradually and intentionally. Every concession should appear meaningful. This signals value and seriousness. Small calculated moments create the perception that limits are being reached. At the same time, maintain a collaborative tone. The goal is not winning at someone else's expense, but achieving the best possible outcome. Strategic bargaining protects value while preserving relationships. This balance is essential for long term success. Next point number 12, discover hidden motivations. Behind every position lies a deeper motivation. People often state what they want without revealing why they want it. Great negotiators uncover these hidden drivers. Someone demanding higher price may actually want recognition. A resistant employee may be seeking security. A difficult customer may simply want respect. By exploring underlying motivations, solutions become easier to find. Problems that seem impossible suddenly reveal new possibilities. Understanding motivates allows us to address root causes instead of surface level demands. This deeper awareness dramatically increases our effectiveness in negotiation life. Next point number 13. Use fairness carefully. The word fair carries enormous emotional weight. People want to believe they are being treated fairly. However, Voss wants that fairness can be used strategically by both sides. Whenever someone claims something is unfair, pay close attention. There may be hidden concerns beneath their statement. Likewise, demonstrating fairness builds credibility and trust. When people perceive fairness, cooperation increases. When they perceive unfairness, resistance grows. Understanding the emotional power of fairness helps us navigate sensitive discussions with greater awareness. This principle strengthens every negotiation framework we will learn so far. Next, point number 14. Prepare before every important conversation. By this stage, we learned many powerful techniques, but their effectiveness depends on preparation. Chris Voss emphasizes that successful negotiators prepare extensively before conversations begin. They identify likely objections, understand emotional dynamics, define goals, and anticipate challenges. Preparation creates confidence and flexibility. It prevents emotional reactions and encourages thoughtful responses. The more prepared we are, the more adaptable we become. Great negotiators don't rely on improvisation alone. They enter conversations with clarity and strategy. Preparation transforms good communication into exceptional communication. Next, point number 15. Negotiation is about relationships, not victories. The final lesson ties everything together. Negotiation is not about defeating others. It's about creating outcomes where communication, understanding, and value can flourish. Temporary victories achieved through pressure often damage relationships. Long-term success comes from trust, empathy, respect, and collaboration. Chris Voss demonstrated that strongest negotiators are not aggressive manipulators. They are skilled communicators who understand human psychology. Every technique we will discuss serves one ultimate purpose: building better connections while achieving meaningful results. When relationships improve, opportunities multiply, and that is the true power of negotiation. So, what's the biggest lesson from never split the difference? It's that people are not problems to be solved, they are emotions to be understood. By practicing tactical empathy, active listening, mirroring, labeling emotions, calibrated questions, and strategic negotiation, you can transform every conversation in your life. Whether you are negotiating a salary, building a business, improving relationships, or resolving conflicts, these principles offer a practical roadmap to success. If you found value in this documentary, remember that negotiation is not a talent reserved for experts. It's a skill anyone can learn. Start applying just one lesson today, and you will begin seeing changes in the way people respond to you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next book documentary.